Section 29 of A Guidebook of Art, Architecture, and Historic Interests in Pennsylvania, edited by Margaretta Archambault. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Tatiana Chichilla. Somerset County. Formed April 17, 1795, named for Somerset, England. Chief industries are agriculture and mining. A mountain country of remarkable beauty, largely forests, although glades, or natural meadows, about the headwaters of streams are numerous and extensive enough to have the name, the Glades, applied to the whole county. Standing on the summit of either mountain range that bounds it, east and west, one gets a view of unsurpassed beauty. At distance of 20 miles, the other stands out in bold outline, with intervening country of hill, forest, glade, valley, and numerous watercourses, which find their way to the Ohio, Susquehanna, and Potomac rivers. Immortalized in James Whitcomb Riley's "Amongst the Hills of Somerset." Nearly all this country, between the crests of the Allegheny Mountains and Laurel Hills, is one vast coal field extending over the entire length, from Maryland to Cambria County, every vein of coal from the great Pittsburgh seam down being represented. Traditions of Indian villages are in the famous Turkey Foot. Castleman River forms middle toe at town of Confluence. Also in Elk Lick Township, Indian arrowheads and stone implements are found. In 1749, Christopher Gist, agent of the Ohio Company, was the first white man known to have crossed Somerset County. His route along Nemacolin's Trail, a Delaware Indian chief, led him through Addison Township to the later-known Great Crossing. Again, passing through in 1750, he kept a diary. George Washington in 1753 crossed through Addison Township with 4 frontiersmen, one as Indian interpreter, one French interpreter. Every spot of earth that Washington trod in the line of duty is sacred soil for all true Americans. He passed through Somerset 11 times. On Braddock's ill-fated expedition in 1755, he lay for 10 days at the Great Crossing, on a bed of sickness, exempt by order of General Braddock. First road cut in 1754 was under Washington's direction, afterwards substantially the Braddock Road, following Nemacolin's Trail, the chief who guided him. It began at Cumberland, Maryland, then a fort, and reached the Youghiogheny River, south of present village of Summerfield, at the Great Crossing, marked only historic marker in the county. The National Turnpike, commenced in 1811, has the same general course, occasionally using the same roadbed, crosses the Youghiogheny at Summerfield over a great stone bridge, still in good repair, completed July 4, 1818, and turned over to the United States on that day. President James Monroe and members of his cabinet attended the opening of the bridge. This road became a great highway, over which passed a vast commerce, both east and west. Wayside inns were nearly every mile, now none exist. The Ensley, stone house, in Summerfield, built 1818, long a noted tavern, is now a private residence. Next great road in this county was the Forbes, or Bouquet Road, cut by Colonel Bouquet in 1758. It traversed the county from east to west, and like the Braddock Road was purely military, constructed under protection of a strong army. Over it passed the army of General Forbes on way to conquer Fort Duquesne. George Washington was with this expedition in command of the 1st Virginia Regiment. The road started at Bedford and followed an Indian trail. It was improved between 1785 and 95 and became known as the Great Road. Afterwards, about 1806, as the Stoystown and Bedford Turnpike. Later taken by the State Highway Department, it is now a great speedway, the Lincoln Highway, entering the county at Buckstown, crossing Stony Creek at Cantner. 1 mile west is Stoystown, over 100 years old. 6 miles farther west is Jennerstown, laid out in 1822 by General James Wells, who in 1771 was wounded by Indians. On Laurel Hills, 3 miles west of Ursina, is the Jersey Baptist Church with ancient burial ground. Has written records since 1775. First log church built 1788. Twice rebuilt. Fine mountain scenery all along the route and several places of historic interest. Here and in other parts of the county, sites of forts which date back to French and Indian wars and the Revolution, unmarked. Few are now living who can point out the locality of these historic places with any degree of certainty. The Glades Road, laid out in 1772 from 4 miles west of Bedford to the Youghiogheny via Stony Creek, was made turnpike in 1816. Along this road in 1810, on a farm 9 miles east of Somerset, was born Judge Jeremiah Sullivan Black, Chief Justice of Pennsylvania, United States Attorney General, and Secretary of State. First railroad through Somerset County was the Pittsburgh Division of the picturesque Baltimore and Ohio, opened in 1871 with its famous tunnels. At Mason and Dixon's line, Negro Mount is about 2,825 feet above sea. Somerset, county seat, population 3,121, laid out in 1795, elevation above sea level 2,180 feet, has had 3 consuming fires and has been rebuilt with greater beauty. Courthouse built 1906, French Renaissance, Indiana limestone, architect J. H. Fuller, Uniontown. Soldiers' monument in grounds, pedestal with names of more than 400 Somerset County men who died in war for the Union, 1861 to 65. Somerset Trust Company, Indiana limestone, built 1916. Architects Mowbray and Company, New York, Renaissance. Beautiful proportions. Churches built by E. H. Walker, Somerset, all with memorial windows, mostly made by Pittsburgh firms, are Grace United Evangelical, brick 1914, the Christian Church and Parsonage, Doric, brick 1910, St. Paul's Reformed, Gothic, brick remodeled 1915, also Trinity Lutheran, Corinthian, built 1877, brick, architect M. Simon, Harrisburg. Throughout the county are many churches. In some places where there is not even the semblance of a village, there are churches that would be a credit to any town. End of section 29.